Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our class of today is chapter 5, which is all about the web-based database applications. So today, inshallah, we are going to learn about many things, including the DBMS, some information or some basics about the DBMS, and also we will learn some basics about the HTML, CSS, server-side scripting, like JSB, PHP, ASP. Actually, we are going to learn about the JSB only in this slide. And also we will learn some things about the JavaScript. Okay. This topic actually is a little bit complicated because here we have many things that are combined together to form one thing, one application. So if you can see here, let me open the paint. Okay. To continue what we have started in this course, actually we started with database, right? So database, as we learned, has something called SQL and has something called DBMS, right? So the DBMS is the engine of the database and also the management system for the database. So through the DBMS, we can create, delete, update, whatever we can do with the database and also with the data through the DBMS. But in order to do all of that stuff, we have to learn the SQL. And SQL have three parts, right? Three types. Anyone can tell me what types of SQL do we have? What kind of SQL language scripts we learn? Guys.
DDL, DCL,
DDL, DCL, and
DML.
DML, yeah. DDL is used to create the structure of the database, right? DDL, which is the data definition language. And the DML is used to manipulate the data itself. And the DCL is used to control the access, to create users, to delete users, to grant permissions, to revoke permissions, and so on, right? So to deal with the database, we have to learn the SQL, and we have to use the SQL. We have to write queries through the DBMS in order to communicate with the database, in order to create it or delete it or modify the structure or delete data or insert data or whatever. Okay, so that's all about the database. We already have done this part and we almost finished with it. Okay, how to create the database and the steps, as you know, we have to start at the beginning with the entity relationship diagram. Then after that we transfer to the relational database. Then after that we do the normalization to do optimization to minimize our mistakes. So normalization is only to minimize the mistakes of our design. Okay, that's all about it. So this part is almost done. So now what we have to do is to know how to create what they call it web-based application. Okay, www. So here what we have to do or what we have to learn is the structure of the application. So here in this case, if we want to run web-based application, actually web-based applications is categorized under what they call it client-server architecture. Client-server architecture. So the architecture is like that. We have one server, then we have multiple clients, right? Multiple clients. So in the clients here, they have only browser, right? They have only browser. They don't install anything, right? They no need to install anything, only the browser. But at the server, we have to install everything related to the application. So one of the things that we have to put is the database. Okay, and the other thing is the what they call it, web server, web service. Web service is what's known as if you are using Microsoft, so what they call it, ISS. Sorry, IIS. IIS. Okay. So this is the service that is going to run your application on the server side. So in order to host a website on a computer or on a server, we have to enable IIS, or maybe to enable what they call it, Tomcat Apache. Apache Tomcat. Okay. So which one we need to use, or depends on what kind of architecture or technology we want to implement. So if our technology is Java, then we have to use Apache Tomcat. Also PHP is based on Apache Tomcat. But if we want to use, for example, other technology like ASP.NET. So in that case, especially if we run the Microsoft Windows for the server, in that case, we have to install what they call it, the IIS. Okay? IIS stands for, I really stands for, yeah, Internet Information Services. So through this, we can enable all of this stuff. Okay, so here, this one actually is Microsoft technology. This one is Microsoft technology. So it can be run only on Windows, Microsoft Windows. But if, let's say, we are running Java or PHP or whatever, in that case, we have to run the Apache or any other web services, I mean, application. Okay, there are many options actually, but this is the very common two. One is Microsoft technology, which is the IIS, and the other one is the Apache, which is an open source internet service. Okay, here for this, as you can see, we have the internet service and we have the database. Database could be installed on the same server and could be installed on different server. Could be installed on different server. Okay, so here the IIS or the Apache Tomcat should be able to communicate with the database, should have the tools to communicate with the database, to create a connection between the web server and the database. Okay, then here what we have to have is also what they call it, the app files, application files. So the application files should be configured, should be installed here on the server, and should be configured. We should assign certain port for the application, because different applications, actually one server, one IIS or Apache Tomcat could handle multiple websites, So every website should be assigned to different port. Okay, so here, after we install the files and we set up or assign the needed port number to each website, then those clients should be able to link to the websites. Okay, so everybody should be able to link to the website, to upload, to download, and whatever. Okay, depends on what services we provide in the website. Okay, so as we can see here, in this side, in the side of the client side, we don't have anything to install, right? Only the application needs to be installed here on the server, database also, if our application is using the database, definitely with the underlying technology like Apache Tomcat or IIS or whatever. Then after that, the user should be able to key in the title in the title of the website or the address of the website in the browser. So in their browser here, they can write whatever, then hit enter, and the website should be able to open. Okay. When they let us take it step by step, when they write the address of the website and they hit enter, there is something called request. Something called request is sent to the web server. Okay, so that request is to find the website. So after this request reach the server, then the server finds the proper application for that request. Then it's supposed to send back the reply. So here, reply. Okay, reply. Okay, so the web application is all based. Yes.
I just want to clear myself. So the server contains the application and the database.
Yes.
So the IIS and the Tomcat is for locating the server, or I did not understand about this.
Actually, this one, the Apache Tomcat or the IIS, is to host the application, to host the website.
So where do we put the domain? So where do we find the
No,
domain?
domain is different thing. Domain is in the DNS. So in order to make your website accessible by the clients, you have to buy a domain.
Oh,
You have
okay,
to
I
buy
see.
a domain name, then you have to do the configuration for the domain name inside your Apache Tomcat or inside the IIS.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so does the domain integrate with the request and reply? Does it
Actually, the request is based on the domain, right? So, for
yes, yes,
example, when we open Google, for example, we write www.google.com, right? So
yes.
that's the domain. That domain is already assigned to that application, to the Google application, right? And
Yes.
the domain name is configured in their Apache Tomcat or in their IIS or whatever, depends on the technology they use. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
this part actually is not in the scope of this course, but anyway, I will help you to understand how to make hosting and how to configure the things. Okay, don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay. For
Okay.
now, we suppose that we have domain name. We suppose that we know how to configure the domain name in our web service, like Apache Tomcat or IIS. After that, we have to link the application to the domain, and customers or users should request our website or our application. Then the system should reply to them and show to them the web pages. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So now the main concept that I want you to understand is that the web-based application is all about request and reply. So everything is request, then a reply. When we write any title, any address in our web browser, that address actually is going to be sent as a request for that page. Then the server will look up the relevant page and send it as a reply. That reply actually is an HTML. The reply actually is an HTML. So that HTML is going to be executed inside your browser to show the page, to show everything. So if you have pictures or whatever, it will be displayed. Okay. the reply actually could include many things like HTML, could include CSS, could include JavaScript also. So that three things actually are what they call it client-side scripts, client-side scripts or client-side code. Okay, the client-side code is the code that's run on the browser. Okay, it's the code that's run on the browser. But also here, in order to display the things, the relevant information in our web pages or in our web application, sometimes we need to fetch some data from the server, then we embed it into our page, right? Right or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So in this case, if we, for example, want to fetch some data from database, so in that case, we have to run some code on the server, right? We have to run some code on the server to do some functionality, to fetch some data, to prepare whatever. Then after that, send it as a reply to the browser to be displayed, right? So all that stuff that's run here on the server, they call it client side, server side code, server side code. Okay, so here in general we have two types of code. The first one is the server side code, and the second one is the client side code. The server side code is all about doing the heavy tasks, all about doing the heavy tasks. So heavy tasks could be calculation, could be processing for image, for example, or processing for map or whatever, fetching data from database or whatever. Then after that, after we get the result that should be displayed to the client, then we convert it into HTML using also the CSS to make the style, to format the content, and also using the JavaScript to make our page interactive. Okay, so these three things, CSS, JavaScript, and HTML, actually is going to form our content. So our content here at the server will be prepared using the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then it will be sent together, code and data together, code and data together to the browser to be displayed. Okay? Is this concept clear, guys?
Doctor,
Yes.
so the server, does it belong to us or to the browser, for example, Google?
The server.
Yeah.
What do you mean belongs to us?
Means like it's belong, if I have a company, right, and I'm creating a website, is it belong to the company, the server, is it belong to the company or to Google? Do we use Google
Actually,
server or our server on?
this thing is based on what you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I will explain to you. This is out of the scope of this course, but anyway, I feel like we cannot take this apart. So we have to understand. We have to understand all the infrastructure and how we are going to implement in future in order to understand the entire concept. Okay? So here,
Okay.
here is the cloud, right? And here is your company, for example. Okay? So you have two options. You have two options. This cloud actually is public, right? Correct or not?
Depends.
The cloud is public or not public?
No.
No. What do you mean by no? Cloud is
Uh,
public. Cloud is public. And here this side is private, right?
okay.
So here, actually the thing is all about IP addresses. Okay? Here, to make other people on other sites, maybe here or here, connect through the cloud, to allow some people from here or from here to access your website or your services here, you have to have an public IP address. Okay, you have to have a public IP address. Otherwise, nobody can access you. Okay, so if let's say you want to create a database here and you want to access it remotely, how you are going to access it remotely? You should have here a public IP address. Otherwise, cannot be accessible. Okay, I will give you an example, real example. So we have an access to the UBM SQL Oracle SQL server, right?
Yes.
So how we got access to that server? Through IP address, right? They,
Yes.
they give us IP address, and also they give us some configuration like port number, username, password, and so on, right? So in order to get accessibility to any private site or any private location, we have to deal with a public IP address. That public IP address actually is not free. Okay, so in order to implement that concept, you have to buy one public IP address. You have to buy one. Sorry. You have to buy one IP address. Okay. How you can buy public IP address? You can go here and find like domains. So buy domain. When you buy a domain, for example, GoDaddy. So this one actually is a very big website that gives this kind of services. This website actually is to buy domain, and when you buy the domain, they ask you whether you want a public IP address or not. Okay, so in this case, you go buy the domain and buy the public IP address, or maybe you go to your internet service provider, like here TM for example, and try to apply for public IP address. Okay, then after that, if they give you the public IP address, you can access your services from outside. But in order to build your website, you need to have a good address, right, for the website. In that case, you have also to go and find the domain. You have to buy the domain. Okay? So, for example, we want to make a company, for example, like, just give me an example.
Synergy.
Huh?
Synergy.
How's the spelling?
SYNERGY. EGY.
GY. Synergy. Okay, yeah. Synergy.com, for example, or maybe .my, for example. Okay, Synergy.my actually is not available. Okay, what they have here, they have bit.co.com.co, .online, .shopping, .jobs, many other things. So here it depends on the price actually is depends on the name that you selected. So for example, if let's say we take my family name like this .my, I'm sure nobody have taken this name. So we search, we find it, الرشاح.org, الرشاح.net, الرشاح.co, me online. You see this one online is very cheap, 4.76. So this one is very rare. Okay, this one is very rare. After that, you have to pay for the second year, you have to pay 203. Okay, this one is 14 for the first year, but after that, you have to pay 87.99. Depends on the name, right? So after you take this, after you buy this domain, you can add it to the cart here, and after that they have a lot of options. They will ask you if you want like professional emails, under your domain, or how many email you want, the space. If you want to make hosting, for example, if you want to make hosting, also they ask you about the space. They ask you sometimes about the what they call it, how many processor you want, how much of RAM you need, and so on. Depends on the application, depends on the website that provides this service, because many companies now provide a complete solution. They can give you public IP address, and also they provide domain names, and also they provide hosting, also they provide email services, they provide, for example, virtualization. So it's depends on what website or what company you want to deal with. Okay, so the important thing that you have to have a public IP address and a domain name. So the public IP address, if you want to make it your own, you have to have the public IP address and also the domain name. Then after that, you have to configure your domain name. You have to link it with this public IP address. So the company that gives you the domain name, it will give you a control panel to allow you attach your domain name to the public IP address that you have. So any request come to this domain, it will be directed immediately to the public IP address, to the computer that you installed using this public IP address. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in this case, your website is your responsibility. Your website maintenance is your responsibility, and this is not a easy task. Not an easy task. Why? Because here, if let's say you have a huge request on your website, for example, thousands of customers, they try to access your website, and your connection is Unify. Unify for home and a small office. So in this case, the traffic cannot be handled using this kind of links. Okay, so it's better to shift this, all of this stuff, shift it to the cloud. Okay, shift it to the cloud, maybe using the your country cloud, or maybe using another international cloud or whatever. So why you need to use the cloud here? You have to find a hosting service on the cloud to host your database and also application together. So here the connectivity, maybe they have multiple sources of internet connected to the data center where your application is hosted. So in that case, you don't care if the link failed. For example, here your link failed, still the website working. But in the previous case, if your Unify stops working, then the website is going to be stopped. And also, if the machine has a problem, maybe electricity interruption or whatever, then the website will be interrupted. But in that case, if you put here in the cloud, just host your website on the cloud, try to find a service, put it here, or maybe you can find a dedicated server. Actually, you can rent a dedicated server for yourself. Then you can install, for example, Windows or Linux on it. And after that, you can install Microsoft SQL or Oracle database or whatever. And also after that, you install the Apache Tomcat or IIS or whatever. You configure everything remotely. And after that, your website will be working from the cloud. Okay, so it's better. I'm not with this. If you want to make this, if you want to make your application privately on your private network, then you have to have a team. You have to have the experience. Okay, so you always need to monitor your server. You need to monitor the everything, the request, the space, the everything you have to monitor. And also you have to provide multiple connections to the internet. So maybe one connection is Unify, the other connection may be Streamix, for example. So if the Unify is down, you can use Streamix. Or maybe one is Unify and the other one is Time. because this time is another provider. So maybe if the Unify fail, maybe the Streamix will fail together with it. That's why it's not a good option. So maybe we use one line for time and another line for TM. Okay. Then here we have to have a router. Then we have to do load balancing, for example, here to utilize the two connections to provide more speed and also to provide backup in case of link failure. Okay, actually, scenario is very complicated. That's why creating your own website on the private network is not a good option, especially for people who don't have experience. Okay, so the best choice is to find hosting service. Okay, to find hosting service, I don't know where's my mouse. To find hosting service, you have many options. You have to go and find one of the big companies that provides web hosting like this, TechRadar, for example, or actually there are big companies like Azure from Microsoft, like AWS from Amazon, many other companies. Okay, you can go and find the hosting could be like $10 by per month. So you pay this amount and you just forget about everything. You no need to have a public IP address. What you need in this case is only the domain name and the hosting space. Okay, the hosting service on the cloud. Okay, these two things only you need in this case. You don't need to have public IP address. Why? Because here in the cloud, the company that gives you the hosting service, they already have their own public IP address. So no need to pay for this. Even the cost, it's kind of similar, actually. The cost of implementing on private or on public is almost the same. Because in this case, you have to pay monthly for the public IP address, and also you have to pay monthly for the domain, but you don't have to pay for hosting because you use your own server. Okay, but in this case, if you use the public here, you don't have to pay for the public IP address. You need to pay only for the domain and for the hosting. So the cost is almost the same. Maybe the difference is like $3 or $4 US per month. Okay, with more advantages on the cloud, because here you don't care about the electricity, because the servers, the data centers, actually they are very huge. They have backup for the electricity, they have backup links for the internet, and also they have very fast infrastructure. They have also a strong team to handle the technical issues, to monitor your system and everything. So don't need to worry about anything here. Okay, but in this case, you have to have your staff, your team to deal or to handle all technical issues. And also you have to pay for multiple internet links, and also you have to pay for extra hardware like routers, other things. You need to configure that router. If you don't have the skill, you have to hire somebody to configure it for you, and so on. That's really very big headache. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yes. So doctor, usually big companies have their own private, right? Private.
Big companies, they have their own. Like for example, UBM, they have their own. Okay, why UBM they have their own? Because UBM have something called IDIC. So that IDIC includes big number of staff, technical staff. So that staff are professional and have the experience to handle all that servers, the network, and everything. And also they have multiple sources of internet, because this company, this university campus is huge and also requires more than one source of internet, right? So it's even if they want to host on the public cloud, they still have to have backup internet link, right? And also they have to have electricity backup for also for other computers, for other labs and everything. So the infrastructure is already there. That's why it's easy for them to use their own cloud. Okay? And also the budget. Big organizations like universities, they have budget, so they can run it. They have staff also. Everything is okay, easy for them to implement. But for example, if you are a small company, like a small company with 5 or 6 employees, then you want to make your own cloud or you want to make your own server, then you will struggle. You will spend too much money. This is number one. Number two, your service will not be stable. This is number two. Number three, your system can fail at any point of time. So that's why it's not preferable to use your own. Okay? If let's say you want to use your own, you can go to this massive grid. This one. And you can hire one computer, dedicated server on the cloud. High availability cloud servers here. If you want to hire a cloud dedicated server also, if you want to create a private cloud for yourself on the public cloud, also you can use this service. For me, I dealt with this and also with this from this company. This company actually is very good. And this company has a wide range of servers, and you can look at the map here. So for example, in Malaysia, if you want to run your company here in Malaysia, you can hire your, you can rent your server on the Singapore private cloud. Okay, so that will be very fast and also will be always available. Okay, I dealt with many websites, actually many data centers from this company. I dealt with Singapore and also with the UK, with Germany, with US. Yeah, and we have one website, a very big website that I told you about that has more than 60,000 users. It's running on Frankfurt data center. Okay, so it's in Germany. And it's accessible from everywhere. Everybody can access it. The speed is very fast, and service is always available. No downtime. Actually, everything is good. Okay, I'm not trying to advertise, but this is based on my experience. I found this company, the prices are very good, and also the service is very stable. Okay, if let's say you want to hire, to rent a server based on Windows, for example, you can go here. Then you can find the plan here. Here you select what server or what data center you want. Okay, so for example, you want Singapore, you select Singapore. CPU type here of the server is like this. How many cores you can select. So the cost will be, you see the cost here at the right side. Whenever you change here, the cost is going to be changed. So for example, you can start with 2 cores. Then after that, if let's say you gain huge requests from others, then you can upgrade to 4 cores or 6 cores anytime you want. This is one of the advantages. But if you have your own server, if let's say you bought the server with 2 cores only, with the RAM like 8 gig or 16 gig, for example, then the request on your website increases. What to do? You need to upgrade. You need to buy another server. But in this case, because this one actually is virtual, easily you can upgrade anytime. Okay, if the traffic increases, you can increase. If the traffic decreases, you can also decrease anytime. Also, you can select what kind of Windows you want, the license, and how many RAM, you need also, and the space storage also, how much of the storage you want. Actually, it depends. The sizes are depends on. You see this sizes here of the RAM increases, opens after we select 8. So from 8 we can select 16 gig RAM or 24 gig RAM and so on. Here, if let's say we select 16 gig RAM, for example, 8 cores and 16 gig RAM, and for example 256 gig of SSD, and bandwidth here is 500 megabit per second. Actually, it's very fast. And here monthly traffic, the cumulative traffic here, you can select like 5, 10, 3, whatever, depends on the traffic you have to pay. Okay, so you configure everything. If you want to test the ping, you can test the ping, for example here Singapore or London or whatever. So this one, London, is 263. Oh, Singapore is 128. London is 81. Singapore is the best one for us. You see? For Malaysia, from Malaysia here, Singapore is the nearest one. Okay, so this tool is to help you find the best data center for you. Okay? Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, as I mentioned, this one is out of the scope of this course, but I want to share with you. No problem. Yes. Any question?
No, no.
Okay. So let us go back to our architecture here. So as I mentioned here, whenever we write something in the address, of the web browser, then that address will be sent as a request. The server need to prepare the contents, need to fetch maybe data from database, need to prepare, need to format, and so on. Then it will need to send everything. The content should be sent back as a reply. So the reply will include the data and the script. Data and script. So, okay, let us go here, take one example. If let's say we open this website, now we wrote google.com, right? So the request is already sent and the reply contains all of the stuff that we see here, right? So if we go here and we show the source code, this is the source code of the website that we see, the Google website. So as you can see here, this things actually is what they call it HTML tag. So all of this are what they call it script, right? All of this are scripts. So that scripts includes JavaScript, maybe, for example, I think this one is JavaScript. Okay, and also it could include HTML. Okay. Also the styles. Styles is what they call it cascaded style sheet, is to format the content. Okay, to control the colors, font size, and everything. Okay, so 3 things we can send as a reply from the server to the client. So that code is going to be run here under the browser to display this content. Okay. Also, when we write something here, for example, anything Toyota, for example. Okay, we wrote Toyota. So the Toyota here, actually, this is the request that we sent to the server. So the server replies by the code, by the scripts and the information or the data that we found. So the server found the results first for us, then after that prepared it for us to be displayed in good manner, then after that it sends us the reply including the code and the data to be displayed like that. Okay. Also here, if we view the source code, we can see everything. So here we can see the, for example, if let's say we found here Mitsubishi, right? Or for example, Toyota Malaysia, for example, here. So this is data, right? Toyota Malaysia is data, right? So let us go here into the code and we search. This is Toyota Malaysia. We found it. So here we include data and code, right? You can see here, still available, 22 times. Okay, this link actually, Toyota car models price list 2020, we can find here. Maybe we go down. Yes, this one. Okay, so everything actually is included here inside the script of the page. Okay, so again, to summarize, we have a client here. We have a client and server. Server is on the cloud, right? So maybe on the cloud or whatever. The most important thing is that the server is accessible. So we can have our own server on our laptop or on our desktop. Okay? Especially for the development time. So here we send request. Request includes mostly short code like this. Request. Okay? And also when we click here, when we click on any link, that link actually includes a request. Okay? This is the code of the request. This is the code that's sent to the server. Then the page content is the reply. Okay? So here we have the reply. The reply includes the content. Content and script. Okay? Scripts could be HTML, could be JavaScript, could be CSS. Okay? Okay, the question here, where we are going to use the Java or C# or Python or whatever? Where we are going to use that? Actually, that code is going to be used here at the server side. So here maybe Java, maybe C#, maybe Python, whatever. Okay? So that one, at the beginning they call it code behind page. Code behind page. So that code is the code responsible to prepare the page and send it to the client. Okay? So the tough or the heavy tasks or heavy processing operations is going to be written using Java or C# or Python or whatever. Okay? But the small things that need to be used to manipulate the style of the page or whatever related to the view, to the client side, then here we have to use HTML, also JavaScript. JavaScript is not Java, guys. JavaScript is one thing, Java is another thing. Okay, and also cascaded style sheet. Cascaded style sheet is all about the colors, style, and font size, everything. Okay, so that's all about it. Is there any question?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, let us continue with the slides, see how we are going to do with it. So what we have DBMS, we have HTML, CSS, we have server-side scripting. What is the server-side scripting? It could be Java server pages, could be PHP, could be ASP. ASP here in this case is called C#, okay? Or Python or whatever. Okay, then we have something called JavaScript. JavaScript actually is a client client side scripting, like JavaScript. Okay. Now Microsoft introduces another technology to replace the JavaScript, because JavaScript actually is prone to errors and very hard to deal with, especially for the complicated scenarios. Okay. Maintenance also is quite hard. Anyway, later we will see the differences between them and when we need to use this or that. Okay, let us start. What is the HTML? HTML is what they call it hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. And CSS is what they call it cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet. So CSS is all about the style, all about the style. So colors, font size, and everything. Hypertext markup language is a structuring language, or something similar to XML. If you know the XML, similar to XML. Okay, so it's used to structure the page, to create the containers for the information and so on. So HTML provides the structure of the page. As I mentioned, HTML is all about creating the structure of the page. CSS is all about the visual and oral layout. Okay, for a variety of devices. So this HTML and CSS is compatible with a very huge number of devices and operating systems. Along with graphics and scripting, HTML and CSS are the basis of building web pages and web applications. So this is the basic concept, or the basic tools that's going to be used to build web pages. Okay? Any question here?
No,
Okay.
No.
Very basic things. HTML is a language for describing web pages. So it's all about describing the page content. So if, let's say, we have a header, for example, after that we have subheader, then after that we have a table, for example, that table has 2 columns and 3 rows, for example, and so on. So everything will be described using the HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, HTML. So one letter from each word. HTML is not a programming language. Okay, it's not a programming language. It's a markup language. Markup language. So a markup language is a set of markup tags. So everything is tags here. We don't have in the HTML, we don't have statements like if statement or for statement or whatever. We don't have. What we have here in the HTML is all about tags. For example, we have header tag, we have table tag, we have row tag, we have column tag, we have whatever. Okay? So everything is here. We have paragraph tag, we have space, we have vertical line, we have horizontal line. Everything is here. Is all about creating the structure of the content. Okay? HTML uses markup tags to describe web pages. Then here, example of HTML. Example of HTML is like this. HTML, this one is the opening tag and this one is the closing tag. The one that has slash here. It's the closing tag. So for every tag, when we open the tag here, for example here, we open the H1 tag. Here we have to close it. Here we open B tag, we have to close it. Here we open body tag, we have to close it. Okay, for example, if we take this and we go online, we can use online HTML editors. So here, if we paste this, you can see here, what do we have here? This is body. This is H1. And here is the B tag, and this one is body. This one is HTML. Okay. Here, this one is H1. H1 is, as you can see here, is bold, right? Okay. This one is, let us use H2 here. H2. Okay. H2 is a little bit smaller, right? We also can use H4, H3, H6. It's up to you. So for example, we use H4. Okay, H4 still bigger than the paragraph. This one actually is the paragraph. Okay, this B is called paragraph. Automatically inserted some paragraphs here. I don't know why. Because this one is online editor. I don't expect what it's going to do. Anyway, if we, for example, want to create another paragraph, we can write it like that. So here we can write my second, for example. So if let's say we have, for example, CV like this, you can see it's one paragraph. Okay. This one is Control C. As you can see here, it's another paragraph. Okay, so P means paragraph. Okay, the difference between paragraphs is a little bit space here. Depends on what kind of cascaded style sheet we want to use. Because in the cascaded style sheet, we can define the spacing, also the margins between paragraphs, and also the page margins and everything. Okay. So that's all about HTML. Is it hard? Very easy, right? So we open a tag, we have to close it. When we open a tag, we have to close it. Then inside the two beginning, the start and the end of the tag, we can write whatever at the middle. Okay? So here, example explain. This one. The text between HTML describes the web page. So here, in order to create a web page, we have to have at least one HTML tag. Okay, inside this HTML tag, you have to have body. So the body will show the contents of the page. Okay, there is also another thing called header. Okay, where is the body here? I don't know. The body is already disappeared. So if let's say here we have HTML, then we close HTML like this. Then here we have body. And here we have body. Okay, so here everything inside the body should display. Anything inside the body should display, but anything inside the header slash header shouldn't be displayed. Shouldn't be displayed. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't work, but here anything we need to make hidden, we can put inside the header. So we can define some variables and so on here at the header level. But at the body, everything should be displayed in the page content. Okay, let us try to find different editor. So I will take this. Yes. Try it yourself. Yes, this one is an example, you see. So here in the head, page title, you see? Page title is not displayed here. Why? Because this one is inside the head, right? And here the body style, the style of the body. You see, this is a kind of styling, okay? So this one should be taken out to the CSS file. You can make it, you can embed it here in the HTML because this one is a CSS code. CSS code is all about background color. We make it black. The text aligned, we make it center, color white, blah, blah, blah. Everything here is related to the style. So the style is going to be saved here inside the header tag. Okay, header tag. Okay. So inside the header tag, we can put the title of the page. So the title of the page is the title that's going to be shown here on the top of your tab. Okay. For example, this one. This is the title here. Okay. Understood? That's all about it. The H1 is the header, the highest level of headers. As I mentioned, we have header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Then we have paragraphs to display the normal text. Okay. After that, we have here HTML header and paragraphs. So here in the header, the text between this tag is displayed as a heading. HTML has 6 levels of headings from H1 to H6, with one being the largest. So H1 is the largest font size. Okay, the text between this tag is displayed as a paragraph. Okay, this text here between this tag, the B tag, is going to be displayed as a paragraph. Okay, here we can use the treeschools.com. This one, this browser, treeschools.com. Okay, you can write whatever here, just run it to show the result. Okay, then here we have HTML text formatting tags. Text formatting tags. So we could use a B tag, which is to make the font bold. We can use strong also to define strong text. We have small also to define small text. I to define italic. EM to emphasize text. BIG to define big text. And this one all about U is to use style instead. This one is deprecated. This one, these three are very old, so nobody is still using them. Just forget about them. We have the del. Del is deleted text or stroke out text. So it will draw a line on the text. Okay, this one is inserted text. Superscripted text, which is higher than the normal text, and subtext, which is lower than the normal text. Okay, so all of this you can use. Let us take this here, copy, and put it here. Okay, so here we run. You can see this one is bold using the B tag. This one is strong using the strong tag. This one, the third one, is big. The fourth one is italic or emphasized. This one also italic. This one is small size. Okay, and here is normal font. This is actually a normal font. Then after that, subscript, the one put between two sub tags. Okay, this one is lower than the normal line, and is normal text. Then superscript is the one put in between two sub from sober tags. Okay, so this one is higher than the normal line. Okay, you can go through them all and try them. Okay, so if you want to use delete, for example, or insert, so let us say delete and delete like this. Here deleted and insert, insert. Insert. Okay. Okay, deleted is stroke out like this. Inserted is underline. Okay, if you want to make space between them, you can make space like that. Or maybe the space have to be put here. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Is there anything hard here? I think it's very simple, right? Very simple and enjoyable.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Then here what we have something called HTML link. So HTML link are defined with the tag A. Okay, A tag. A tag means link. So for example, if let's say you want to create a link to a certain page, let us copy this, Control C, and let us go here and put it at the top here. Okay, run. So here we have this link. If we click here, this link should take us to ubm.edu.my. Okay, you see here at the left bottom of the browser, you can see the hyperlink. Okay, so here maybe we open in a new tab ubm.edu.my. Okay, here the text shown here is the text we write here in between the two tags. Okay, let us start it. Actually, the A tag is like this, like any tag. We have open tag and close tag like that. Then here, what we have to put inside here at the middle is the text that's going to be displayed. The text that's going to be displayed. Okay, let us put a paragraph here to break it into two lines. Okay, this one actually is need to be broken into two lines also. So the one that I write here is another link, right? So now it doesn't have any content, right? You see when I hover the mouse on the here text, doesn't show any hyperlink, right? But that one shows hyperlink, right? And also at the left bottom of the browser, you can see www.ubm.edu.my. Okay, why this one doesn't show anything? Because here we did not put the href. We have to put the href here like that, here, inside the opening tag, inside the opening tag. So for example, here we, instead of this, we put google.com. Okay, so here, if we run, you see, the shape is already changed. So now when we hover on the here text, we can see at the bottom left, we can see www.google.com. So when we click here, actually they disable the click here. So you have, because this one is an online editor. So if you right click, it shows you Google. Okay, is that hard, guys? Very simple, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is the most important thing that you have to learn. Most important thing you have to learn. If let's say you want to open in a new window, you have to add target equal to blank, underscore blank, like this. Okay, let us take this. Let's copy this, put it here. Okay, still inside the opening tag, right? So here, if we run, this one opens in a new window immediately. That one is disabled because that one will open in the same page, and this is editor. They don't want to. They don't want you to lose your text that you have written here. That's why they disable the opening in the same browser, in the same tag. Okay, so here we can open many times. Whenever we click, it will open in different tab. Okay, so that's all about the link tag. Also, we still have table. So to create a table, we have to deal with the table tag. Table tag is like this: opening tag, closing tag. Closing tag always has a slash. Then we have something called TR. TR is to specify the table row. Table row. T means table, R means row. Table row. TH means table header. Table header. TD means table data. Table data. So table row, table header, table data. Okay. This one, table row, is to define row within the table. Table header is to define table header cell. Okay. Then TD is to define table data cell. Okay. Let us go and see how it works. Okay. This one is table header, table row, table data, like that. So if we take this, we run it here, we run it here. This one table, right? It's only one cell. Okay, it's only one cell. Why? Because we have only one TD. One TD. If we want to have another TD, so we can write TD, then close TD like that. Then we show whatever. Okay, two cell. Okay, these two TDs are inside one TR. Also inside the TR, we can create one TR like this, and we close the TR like that. Then inside we put TH, like this. We copy this TH, we make it here, we write something header 1, header 2. Okay, is that clear? So if we create another row, here, it will show under here. So this is all about creating tables. Okay, so border here is all about the line. So if we make this or remove this border, run, no border. Okay, if we want to make it bigger, we can use 2, for example, it become bigger. If we want to use like 10, for example, it become like that. Okay, is that clear? So
Yes.
inside the table, we have the table row, and the first row is supposed to be the header. Inside the first row, we have to have TH. For every column, we have one TH. Then the second row should include the data. So inside the TR, the second row, we should have TD. So one TD for every cell. Okay? Very simple. Then here, TD, 1 row and 2 columns. I already explained this. 2 rows and 2 columns, already explained. Very simple, actually. Don't need to waste more time doing it. But the important thing, you have to be familiar with it. The more you do practice, the easy it become. Okay? So if you want to create or to develop web applications as easy as you drink water, then you have to do a lot of practice. You remember all tag names and everything, then easily you can write from your mind. Write without stop. Okay? Here we have what they call it row span. Row span or column span is to merge two cells from different rows or two cells from different columns. So this one actually is called row span. This one is column span, because this cell here joins multiple cells from different columns. This cell joins multiple cells from different rows, right? So here, row span equal X to merge two or more rows into a single row. So this one, row span, is to merge multiple cells from different rows. The column span is to merge more columns, two or more columns into a single column. So this become one column, okay? Let us go to our page. So if let's say here, for example, if let's say we want to make one header here, so what we need to do here, to delete this, we keep only one header. If we run like that, it will be like this, okay? Empty, because the second cell is not mentioned. That's why we need to make row span equal to 2. Row span equal to 2. As you can see here, row span equal to 2. But this 2 number need to be put into double quotation. Okay? So if we run like that, oh, what happened? What happened here? This one is what does it make? What do we want to do? We want to do row span or column span? What we want to do is column span, right? Column span. Like this. Okay? Then here, for example, if let's say the first cell here, we want to make this first one, we make to make row span to expand it to the 2 rows. So in this case, what we want to do, we have to go and delete the first cell from the second row, first cell from the second row. So the second row has only one cell. Then inside here, the first row cell, we should make row span equal to 2, like this. So here, it become like that. Okay? Very easy, right? Is it easy or not?
Yes.
Very simple.
Yeah, Doctor.
Yeah. Test 1, test 2, for example, and this one, for example, is the row span, like that. Okay? So you see here, once you put 2 rows here, then in the other row, you already have one cell from the previous row, right? So that's why you have to consider only one cell. If let's say your table here is 3 columns, for example, has 3 columns like this. So in the second table row, we have to consider only 2 columns because the first column is already here. This one includes or covers 2 rows, okay? Like that. But here we still have to cover this. So the column span need to be expanded to 3, for example, like that. Or if we don't want to make it like that, if we want to keep it like this too, so here we have to make th, again, th, and we have to make header 2, for example. So here, what do we have? We have here 2 cells and 1 cell. So the entire table is 3 columns. Okay? Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, good. Okay, the list. For the list is very easy. We have unordered list, we have ordered list, and definition list. So unordered list is UL tag. Inside each UL, we have to have LI for every point. Then ordered list, we use the OL, and inside the OL we have LI similar to this. This one is ordered, means numbered. This one is unnumbered. This one is definition list. The definition list, let us go through. Okay, unordered list here, marked with bullets, typically small block, a small black circle. Starts with the UL tag. Each list item starts with the LI tag. Then the order list marked with numbers start with the OL tag. Then each list item starts with the LI tag. Then definition list. So it's a list of items, items or terms with a description of each item. So each item is called term. So starts with DL, definition list. Then each term starts with DT, which is definition term. Then after that, each description starts with DD. So DT is something like header of the point. Okay, then after that, this one DD is the description. Okay, let us take the first example. Oh, they don't have examples here. Okay, so let us take the unnumbered list or unordered list. So here we have to use UL and LI, right? UL and LI. Let us delete all of this stuff. We keep only, for example, this header. Then we create PR and we go here. We want to use unordered list. So we open and close the UL tag. Open and close the UL tag. Then we use tab to use LI, list item. List item, we open, close, LI. Then if let's say we have 3 points. So here 1 point, second point, third point. Okay, so here, first, second, third. Okay, if we run like this, you see first, second, third. Why this one is like that? Because here the text alignment is center. So if we make it left, okay, left, you see? So this is the advantage of using the style, cascaded style sheet. So you can change everything in from one place. Okay? So if the color you want to make yellow, text color, become yellow. Everything become yellow. Okay? So here, as you can see, we have the small black circle. Well, in our case, it's not black because the text is not black. So if let's say we want to make it white background, text is black, then it become black. Okay? Then here, this is the unnumbered list. So if we want to use numbered list, we use OL. OL. So OL will change 1, 2, 3 instead of dots. Okay? What's about the, what they call it, this one? DL, data list or definition list. Definition list will have two things, DT and DD. Okay, so here, definition list. This one is definition list. And here we have DT, and DD. So we have for every dot, for every point, we have to open DT and DD tags. Okay, so the DT here will include, for example, first here with capital, second with capital, third with capital, and here, let us copy this. Okay, as you can see here, first, second, third, then after that we have definition. This is the definition for the first term, like this. And here we write the definition for the second or the third. Okay, run. You see? Very simple. Is there any problem? Anything hard?
No, no, doctor.
Nothing hard, right? So what you need is only to follow up with the slides, to take more examples, to try to create many things, try to think about different scenarios, try to implement them using HTML. And also try to play with the CSS. Okay? So if you don't know about the tags here, what kind of features that you can play with inside the style here, you easily go and try to Google it. Just Google it. Very easy. So here we have background color, we have foreground color, we have text align, we have color, we have also, this is the font color, we have the font family here. Many things we have. Okay? Just go and try to Google it to see more scenarios. So that's all about HTML. Now we are going to see the styling of HTML with CSS. So CSS was introduced to provide a better way to style HTML elements. So it's all about styling. CSS can be added to HTML in the following ways. So we have 4 ways to embed or to add the CSS. So the first thing we have to, we can use inline style. So in the inline style here, for example, if let's say we want to change the color here, we can use, for example, style like that. Then we use like this. And after that, we can say color is equal to that, to something. Okay? So this is what they call it inline. So the impact of the styling here will be affecting only the tag itself. So only will affect this tag. It's not going to affect anything else, okay? Then the other thing, what they call it, embedded styles. Embedded styles is when we create a style as a tag here, as a section, then we embed it inside the page, inside the HTML. Okay, this is what they call it, embedded style. Then what we have external styles. External styles is when this CSS is saved in the .css file. Then that .css file is used inside the HTML. So here inside the HTML file, we will never have CSS code, okay? The fourth one is imported styles. Imported styles, that's imported from other resources, okay? So here, inline style configured in the body of the web page, use the style attribute of an HTML tag, apply only to the specific element. As I mentioned, if we make the style here, if we play with the style tag here, with the style configuration here for this tag, so that configuration actually is going to affect only this content. It's not going to affect anything else. Okay? Embedded styles configured in the header section of a web page. In the header section of a web page, like here. It's in the header, right? So now this is what they call it, embedded. So here, use the HTML style tag for that. Apply to the entire web page document. So here, this thing actually is global. So once you change anything here, for example, yellow like this, so the page will become yellow. Okay? For everything. So if let's say we change the color here as a blue, so the color of every text will become blue. Okay? It's not specific. It's not specific for a certain thing. But for your information, we can decide, for example, we can here in this body, we can change the style for example, for the header one tag only. We can play with the body tag only. We can configure it. So any body tag in any HTML page is going to be affected. After that, if let's say that page just applies the same style, okay? So here, external styles configured in a separate text file with .css file extension. So the HTML link element in the header section of a web page associates it with the .css. So after that, if we make the cascaded style sheet in a separated file, then we can use this tag to link that CSS file to the HTML file. Okay? So normally we need to put the CSS file beside the HTML file, then we put its name here. For example, style, for example, .css, like that. So inside our HTML page. Okay? That's to import the cascaded style sheet file to the HTML. Then the last one is the imported style. It's similar to external style. We will concentrate on the other three types of styles. This one actually is, yes. Yes? Hello? Do you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. So this all about the styling. So here for the imported style here is an advanced level, but it's not that hard actually to learn. You can go to any website and try to find something called what they call it, bootstrap like that. So bootstrap watch like this, boot watch. Here you will find many styles. You can import whatever. So for example, if you want to use this one, you can go and preview here. You can see how the menu will look like, how the boxes, how the buttons will look like, and everything you can find here. Then after that, you can import the cascaded style sheet from here. You can import. Okay, so here, for example, if let's say you want to create a menu like this, you can copy this. Okay, copy this code and use it there. So this one is here is using the bootstrap. Actually, you see here the tags of the bootstrap. But if you want to import cascaded style sheets, there are many websites also provide the cascaded style sheets, and they will give you a link. They will give you a link, so you can use that link directly to your page. No need to download the file. So your website will go and download that cascaded style sheet whenever it's needed. Okay? Just now, don't worry about it. It's very simple. Later, when we get examples, you will understand. So, for example, if let's say in the cascaded style sheet here, let us use this body color tag. For example, here, if let's say we put, oh, this one is already used. Body color tag. So this one is, for example, table like this. Then, for example, if let's say we use background yellow, for example, instead of yellow, we want to use white. Then here inside the body, we want to use table and here what we want to use table row, and here, for example, we make test. Okay, so this one doesn't work. It doesn't work. I missed some things. Anyway, let us later go and check it. So here, because time is going to finish, I want to stop somewhere, hopefully, because next, inshallah, tomorrow we have our class. Actually, is all about the designing the entity relationship, and we have only 1 hour. So this topic actually is going to be continued for next week, inshallah. Here, the style sheets are composed of rules that describe the styling to be applied. So each rule contains a selector and declaration. So here, the selector is the component. So for example, if let's say you want to configure the body of the page, then you have to use the body selector. And inside the body selector, you can play with whatever you want. Okay? Then here, after that, we have the declaration property, which is like color, maybe font, maybe whatever, background color, and so on. And then declaration value after the colon. Okay? So the property and the value is supposed to be inside a curly bracket. Okay? So here, for example, we have body, color, colon blue. Then if we want to play with another property, we have to use semicolon. Then we bring another property. Then after that, colon and value for the other property, then semicolon, and so on. So here, configure a web page to display blue text and yellow background like this. Blue color for the text and yellow background. So this could also be written using hexadecimal color. So the colors like this, yellow and blue, could be written in hexadecimal like that. But in this case, you have to remember the hexa code. Okay? So I think we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. Let us finish this 2 or 3 slides, then we continue inshallah next week. So inline CSS, the style attribute is used with the value of the style rule declared that need to be set. So recall declaration consists of a property and a value. Then example on how to use inline CSS in HTML like this. So this is an example. So here what we want to use, we use the style equal to, we open double quotation, then after that we put the property, background, blue, semicolon, the text color is white. Okay, so if let's say we want to use this, if we want to implement this, for example, inside our header only, for example, inside our header only. So this one actually is going to override the main one. Okay, so now you can see here, the header is blue background and the text is white. Okay. So let us make this black and this one white. Maybe this one yellow to differentiate. Okay, so this one actually affects only the header. And whenever we want to change it, we have to go and modify it here. That's why this is what they call it inline. This one is actually not a preferable way to do styling. The best way is to write everything in one place in the style section and save it in a central place, like in a file, then you use it whenever you want it. So whenever you want to change the background color, for example, you go only to one place, change it, and it will be applied to all pages. Okay? It's much easier, easy to maintain, and easy to change. Okay? Also, we can use the hexa code for the color. So embedded CSS is to write the style in the style header. So here we have style, type tx, text CSS, as we can see here. As we can see here, style. Okay, they don't mention here the type, but here it's mentioned type is equal to text/CSS. Is up to you. If you want to write it like that is okay. If you want to use that way is also okay. So if let's say we want to use this one, okay, that one. This one is it can give you much control compared to the previous styling. Okay, so here if let's say we want to use this, let us cancel this. Okay, so here is our style. Okay, so here we can assign background color and text color for every component. So for the paragraph, we can assign this. For header one, we can assign that. For blah, 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 we can assign whatever. Okay, so here, as you can see here, for example, header 3, like this. Okay, let us take this, copy this to make it faster. So this one, for example, background is green, color is blue, background is black, color is white. Okay, let us run. Let us see here. This one need to be removed. Okay, run. So this one got the setting, the style of the header one, right? So green with blue, right? Is it? Green with blue, like this, because the spelling was wrong. Okay, what if we use like that? H3 here, we run. Okay, H3 here is already changed. Whenever we have H3, it will get the same styling, right? So no need to go to every tag and make online styling. Just define everything here as you need it. Then you go and use it through your page. Okay? So for the paragraph, if let's say we have one paragraph, like this, B. So paragraph is like that. Background black, background blue with text white. Okay? So no need to go and modify. Whenever you put the paragraph, whenever you put paragraph tag here, like this, let us delete this table. Whenever you put paragraph tag like that, it will take the same style. So if let's say we want to change here, we can make this one yellow, then the paragraphs only will be changed to yellow. Other things will not be affected. Okay? So that's all about the styling. This one is embedded. External is like this. External, you can save your style in a cascaded style sheet .css. Then you can use the link like that to link your HTML to the cascaded style sheet. Okay? Then here, this is what you can write inside your cascaded style sheet file. Very easy, like this. You just write like that. Save the file as .css file. Make sure that you are not saving it as a text file. Okay, name the file test.css without the quotation. Now create a new HTML file and fill it with the following code. So you can write HTML. You can fill it with this code. Okay, so here you will see all of the contents that's displayed into the slide. Okay, we've stopped here. So inshallah, embedded here. External, sorry, we'll stop here. I will insert here text. We stopped. Okay, guys, any question? Any question?
No.
No,
Okay.
doctor.
Is it
No, doctor.
easy to understand or not? Is it easy to understand or not, guys?
Inshallah, doctor.
Yeah, okay, good. So about
is
your attendance, who signed your attendance? Fauzan is not there. Fauzan is absent, right? Okay. Okay, thank you and see you inshallah tomorrow. All of you have to prepare your entity relationship diagram for your mini project. We have to discuss it tomorrow inshallah. Okay. Thank you and assalamu alaikum.